Back on that. So, what is your relationship with Archie going to be this season? Because you've been put through a ringer and everything, and Archie's not the little boy that you left all those years ago when you left town.
Well, I think that Mary is the surviving parent, and I think they're just doing a lot of grieving together. I mean, the first episode obviously deals with Luke's and Fred's death, but I feel like grieving is sort of not a linear thing. So even though everything goes on in Riverdale, there's still moments that are hard where we sort of pay tribute to the character, both the character and the man.
Having dealt with stardom since the start of your career, have you had any kind of advice to impart to your cast members about how to kind of navigate the perils of showbiz?
I make a point never to offer advice unless it's asked. Usually when we talk about stuff like that, it's just less about stardom and just more about being a person, being a good person. I give advice to KJ because he specifically asks for it sometimes. But he also gives me great advice about how to deal with my teenager, because he's not that far out of, teenagedom.
Sure.
So I think it's sort of a mutual thing.
Thank you.
The parents in Riverdale, while you've been gone, they kind of have their own relationships and rivalries and stuff with each other. How is Mary going to get thrown into all of this? Because she, was luckily able to be separate from all those backstabbings, some of them literal.
Well, I think she knows them pretty well. They all went to high school together, so she's been out, for a couple years. But I think she knows them all too well. So I think we're going to be able to get to explore some of that in the episodes going forward.
Will we see a younger version?
Sorry?
Will we see a younger version?
A younger version of Mary?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what their plan. That's a Roberta question.
Okay.
Is there any chance we might see a crossover with Sabrina?
Again, that's a Roberta question. I would love to have a crossover with Sabrina or with Katie Keene. Everyone always needs a lawyer, so. And Mary Andrews pretty much does any kind of law that you can think of. She sort of crosses all of the, it doesn't matter, tax law, criminal law, divorce law, she covers it all.
Have you had any discussions with Roberto about where you would like to take the character of Mary?
A little bit. I think so far it's just been kind of coming in and sort of filling this spot that Luke occupied, because Luke and both Luke and KJ and Archie and Fred had such a tight relationship, so it's been sort of like coming in and filling that place and dealing with that before anything else.
Do you think Mary's going to be the new moral center of the show? Because that's one of the other roles that Fred played, was sort of a moral center.
I think so. I feel like Archie himself is kind of, the moral center, but, Fred was his North Star. And, yeah, I feel like Mary's kind of assuming that position. Yeah. But she's going to be able to do some fun, weird stuff, too, because that's part of Riverdale.
You don't want to be left out.
No. Definitely not.
I made a joke about Facts of Life before, but you did play guitar on that show.
Sort of.
I got it right to sing. So maybe Riverdale gets very musical sometimes. This might be a Roberto question, but can we get it?
I'm open to it, but they got to write it. We just sort of do what they write. That's sort of the fun of a show like this, is you never really know where it's going to go.
As an actress, how your experiences with motherhood prepare you not only for the role of Mary, but in your other roles?
I think that, I don't believe that you have to be a mother in order to play a mother, but I definitely think that for me it makes it very easy to draw upon my own experience. I feel pretty maternal towards everyone, really. It comes very naturally to me.
Thank you.
Was there anything about Mary that you learned about you as an actor as opposed to other roles you played?
Nothing comes to my mind specifically. I feel like I'm still kind of figuring her out because she, I was only on it in just a little bit, and I always wanted to know why she left, because she, unlike the other parents, was supposed to be like the good mother, and yet she left her son. So, to me, those two things didn't really go together. So it's been interesting to kind of hear her side of it a little bit more, which we get to hear.
In the scenes that have been shot for the season so far, do we see Mary getting into any conflict with the other Riverdale parents? Because we saw a tease of that last season that was perfect, and we're so used to seeing Mary as just this graceful character that, it's kind of fun to see her really kind of dive into the Riverdale drama.
Yeah, no, she definitely dives in.
Great.
There's a deep dive.
And now that you're on the show more full time, you get to interact with more of the other characters that you didn't get to before. Is there any confrontations that you're looking forward to, or that have already been filmed that you think we should look forward to?
Well, like I said, there's a lot that happens in the Thanksgiving episode, which I'm not sure which number that is. I think it might be 7. But yeah, I'm looking forward to her getting into it with the other parents. It's true that Mary is a little bit of a character that's supposed to rise above everything, but you can't rise if you live in a town. You can't just leave town. Yeah, she has to get into it.
This is last question. Did you ever read any of the Archie comics?
I did.
Is there a particular storyline from those comics you'd like to see turn up on the show?
I don't remember enough. It was really something that I kind of read in the dentist's office. That and highlights, I remember. That's what they had. They had highlights and Archie, and you would read it. And I remember as a kid, sort of thinking, am I more Betty or Veronica? And little did I know, I was Archie's mom.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.